For anyone questioning the Caitlyn Clark effect, we now have people wanting to watch golf because of her.
For anyone still doubting the Caitlyn Clark effect, take a look around. TV ratings are surging, brands are throwing record-breaking offers, and fans who never cared about women's basketball are suddenly tuning in. Caitlyn Clark isn't just playing the game, she's rewriting the entire rulebook. What we're witnessing is something bigger than basketball. We've seen athletes dominate before, but not like this. Caitlyn has done the unthinkable, transforming from a college star into a global marketing juggernaut in less than a year. It's not just her scoring records or her fiery competitiveness. It's the way she's turned everything, interviews, endorsements, even her silence, into gold. This isn't a rookie story anymore. This is the story of a woman who has become the most valuable name in modern sports. And the strangest part is, she's doing it while earning less on the court than the average office manager. She's a millionaire many times over, and yet her official WNBA paycheck, just over $76,000, looks like a rounding error next to what she's pulling in from the brands fighting to stand beside her. So how did Caitlyn Clark turn her first professional season into a financial revolution? How did a 22-year-old rookie become the face of a billion-dollar shift in women's sports? And why are some insiders furious about it? The answers reveal a game far more complex than basketball itself. Because Caitlyn Clark isn't just breaking records, she's breaking the system. Before she became the WNBA's biggest name, Caitlyn Clark was already a national obsession. From Iowa's arenas, packed wall-to-wall, to viral highlight reels hitting tens of millions of views, she built a following that few male athletes could dream of. Every shot she took felt personal. A message that she wasn't just competing, she was redefining what was possible for women in sports. By the time she declared for the draft, Caitlyn Clark wasn't just a player, she was a brand. Her name was trending across continents, and her face had already become a symbol of inspiration for a generation of girls who finally saw themselves in the spotlight. When the Indiana Fever drafted her, it didn't just change the franchise, it changed the league overnight. Ticket sales skyrocketed. Broadcast networks scrambled to secure rights. And suddenly, the WNBA had something it hadn't had in decades: must-see TV. But here's where things get fascinating and a little unsettling. Despite being the most talked-about player in the league, Caitlyn Clark's rookie salary came in at $76,500 and $35. To most, that sounds decent. But in the world of professional basketball, it's shockingly low, especially when compared to NBA rookies earning millions before ever stepping on the court. So if her WNBA paycheck wasn't making her rich, what was? That's where the Caitlyn Clark phenomenon truly begins. Because while others grind through practices, media appearances, and 82-game seasons for their next contract, Caitlyn was building an empire off the court. Her off-court income soared past $10 million in her first professional year alone, and none of it came from scoring points. She made it from showing up, from speaking, from simply being Caitlyn Clark. Her presence became a currency. She charged up to $100,000 for a single appearance, whether virtual or in person. In just months, she earned more from corporate events and sponsorships than most WNBA players make in their entire careers. Brands didn't just want her face, they wanted her energy, her authenticity, and the audience that followed her every move. She became the golden ticket, a figure who could single-handedly boost viewership, social media engagement, and brand credibility. Companies weren't just signing her, they were investing in her future. And with every deal she signed, Caitlyn's influence grew. But what she was building wasn't luck, it was strategy. Because behind that calm smile was a player who understood something few others did. This isn't just basketball anymore, this is business. The numbers don't lie. In just a few short months, Caitlyn Clark has shattered every traditional boundary that used to define an athlete's worth. Her $76,000 WNBA paycheck is almost symbolic at this point, a reminder of how far behind the system is compared to the world she's already building. Because while some athletes chase trophies, Caitlyn is chasing leverage. She's the first to understand that attention is currency. And right now, she's the richest player in the game, Within her rookie season, she's generated an estimated $10 million in off-court income, an almost unbelievable figure considering most WNBA stars barely reach 7 figures in their entire careers. And how did she do it? By mastering the art of modern branding. When Caitlyn walks into a room, it's not just a player showing up, it's a media event. Every camera flash, every interview, every social post multiplies her value. Companies are paying 6 figures just for her to speak. Nike, State Farm, Wilson, Gatorade. Each one writing checks large enough to make NBA veterans raise their eyebrows. She's not just endorsing products, she's redefining what it means to be an influencer athlete. Her image blends skill, humility, and charisma, the perfect formula for global appeal. To corporate America, Caitlyn Clark isn't just a basketball player. She's the future of female marketing power. One brand executive even described her as the Steph Curry of influence, saying that she doesn't just sell products, she shifts public behavior. When she drinks from a certain bottle, sales spike. When she posts a photo, engagement triples. And that's why she's earning more off the court than any woman in WNBA history. But the most fascinating part? Caitlyn Clark's empire isn't being fueled by controversy or scandal. It's being built on trust. In an era where athletes are constantly scrutinized, Caitlyn's image remains refreshingly clean. She doesn't need shock value. Her talent and authenticity do the talking. Fans believe her, brands trust her, and investors see her as the safest bet in sports. And it's this purity, this genuine connection, that's making the WNBA nervous. Because the system wasn't built to handle someone like her, someone who doesn't need the league to survive. For the first time ever, the WNBA isn't holding the power. She is. Caitlyn Clark's story isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about business domination, calculated moves, and a marketing revolution led by a 22-year-old woman from Iowa. When you peel back the layers, what she's doing looks less like an athlete's career and more like a corporate takeover. She's built a brand that thrives on emotion, not stats. Fans aren't following her for her shooting percentage. They're following her because she represents something bigger: determination, grace, under pressure, the dream of equality in a system that still undervalues women. And she's monetizing that message to perfection. Her corporate partnerships read like a Fortune 500 wish list. Nike signed her to a deal worth an estimated $28 million, reportedly one of the most lucrative contracts ever given to a rookie. State Farm turned her into the face of their national campaigns. Wilson, the iconic basketball brand, gave her something that no other active female player has had before: her own signature ball collection. For context, only one player in history ever got that kind of treatment before. Michael Jordan let that sink in. A rookie from Iowa now sits in the same marketing category as the greatest player of all time. And this is just the beginning. So did 2,800 tryers. Estimate that Caitlyn's total endorsement portfolio could surpass $100 million within the next few years if her trajectory continues. What's fueling it isn't just her performance, it's her control. Unlike many athletes, Caitlyn doesn't hand over her image rights. She negotiates terms, monitors branding, and ensures every deal aligns with her value. She's building not just fame, but ownership. And yet, as her empire expands, so does the tension. Because not everyone is happy about her rise. Behind closed doors, there's growing resentment, whispers from rival players and league executives who feel she's getting too much attention too quickly. Some call her privileged. Others say the league's entire success now depends on one person, which could be dangerous. But Caitlyn doesn't flinch. She knows that attention is a double-edged sword, and she's wielding it with precision. While some see chaos, Caitlyn sees opportunity. And just when it seems she's reached the peak of her power, a new twist emerges. One that reveals how much bigger her plans really are. In the world of sports marketing, timing is everything. And Nike knows timing better than anyone else. For months, fans speculated about which brand would sign Caitlyn Clark. Was it Adidas? Under Armour? Puma? The bidding war quietly escalated behind closed doors, with offers reportedly reaching record-breaking numbers. But then, silence. No announcements, no leaks, just waiting. Until one crisp morning, the news finally broke. Caitlyn Clark had signed a historic deal with Nike worth $28 million. The agreement included her own signature shoe line, the first for a women's basketball player in over a decade. But as excitement built, something strange happened. Nike released promo images, social media teasers, and statements celebrating Caitlyn's arrival. Yet one thing was missing: the shoe itself. No prototype, no leaked image, no name. Fans began to speculate. Was Nike holding back on purpose? Or was there tension brewing behind the scenes? Some claimed Nike wanted the timing to align with the 2026 WNBA season launch. Others whispered that Caitlyn herself wasn't fully satisfied with the initial design, a perfectionist who wanted something iconic, something that represented her story, not just her stats. In interviews, she smiled through the questions, sidestepping the topic with grace. When asked about the shoe, she simply said, "Good things take time, and I want this to be perfect." That was enough to ignite even more curiosity. Nike had found their golden marketing moment: mystery. And for Caitlyn, that mystery only made her shine brighter. The missing shoe became a symbol of something bigger. The idea that she wasn't just an athlete waiting for her moment. She was the moment. With fame comes friction. And in the WNBA, Caitlyn's meteoric rise created shockwaves. Veteran players admired her talent, but some bristled at the spotlight she carried. Overnight, networks shifted coverage. Headlines that once ignored women's basketball suddenly featured Caitlyn daily. Ratings soared, but so did resentment. During one particularly intense game, a veteran guard was caught on mic saying, "Let's see how she handles real defense." Social media exploded. Fans defended Caitlyn fiercely, while critics accused her of being media-made, suggesting that hype, not talent, drove her popularity. But if there's one thing Caitlyn Clark does best, it's proving people wrong. Game after game, she delivered under pressure. Step-backs, logo threes, no-look passes. Her composure never cracked. Instead of responding with words, she answered with buckets. And each viral highlight, each sold-out arena, each little girl in the crowd holding a homemade Clark 22 sign silenced the noise. Even the league couldn't deny it. Within months of her rookie debut, average WNBA viewership skyrocketed by 200%. Merchandise sales doubled. ESPN renewed broadcasting deals. The Caitlyn Clark effect wasn't just real. It was revolutionary. Behind the scenes, corporate America was watching closely. From Gatorade to State Farm, from Nike to Buick, brands saw Caitlyn as the new face of confidence and youth. A marketing goldmine that appealed to both girls and parents, athletes and casual fans alike. But fame built on authenticity always walks a tightrope. The same sincerity that made her relatable was also what brands wanted to package and sell. And that, insiders say, became a quiet source of tension. Some executives pushed for polished content. Others wanted more raw moments to make her appear grounded. But Caitlyn, true to her nature, stayed focused on what she could control: the game. When a reporter asked her about managing fame, she replied with a soft smile, "I still just love basketball." That's all this has ever been about. That humility, rare in the age of viral celebrity, made her even more magnetic. She wasn't chasing fame. Fame was chasing her. It's rare to witness a legend being built in real time, but that's exactly what's happening. Every game Caitlyn Clark plays, every record she breaks, every headline she commands, it all feels like a chapter in something much bigger, something generational. She's not just redefining women's basketball. She's redefining what it means to own your narrative. She's the athlete who bridges eras, the college phenom who made the pros cool again, the small-town girl who became a global symbol of confidence, the shooter whose range turned doubters into believers. Her impact is already visible. WNBA ticket sales have tripled. Broadcast deals are expanding. and girls' youth basketball signups have surged to record highs nationwide, all because of one player who refused to fit the mold. For all the glamour, for all the money and endorsement, Caitlyn's story remains deeply human. There's the quiet kid from Iowa who used to shoot hoops in her driveway until the sun went down. The teenager who carried her state's hopes on her shoulders. The young woman who faced criticism not for her flaws, but for her success. Through it all, her parents remained her anchor. Her mom, a constant supporter, once said, "She doesn't chase the spotlight. It just happens to find her." Her dad added, "She's always been wired differently. Competitive but calm, fierce but kind." That's what makes her journey resonate so deeply. It's not just about basketball. It's about staying grounded while the world spins faster around you. So what's next for Caitlyn Clark? Some say she's destined to become the first billion-dollar female athlete in history. Others believe she'll eventually transcend basketball entirely, becoming a cultural icon in the same breath as Serena Williams or Michael Jordan. But if you ask Caitlyn, the answer is simpler. In one recent interview, she said, "I just want to keep getting better." That's the fun part for me, knowing there's still more to learn. That humility, that hunger, is what separates her from everyone else. She doesn't see herself as finished. She sees herself as evolving. Late one evening after a tough game, cameras caught Caitlyn alone on the court long after the crowd had gone. No lights, no noise, just the sound of a basketball echoing against hardwood. She wasn't celebrating. She wasn't practicing for show. She was doing what she's always done, chasing perfection in silence. That image went viral, not because it was staged, but because it was real. The same drive that built her from a high school hopeful into a national phenomenon still burns quietly beneath the surface. That's the Caitlyn Clark story. Not a headline, not a marketing campaign, but a living, breathing reminder of what happens when talent, discipline, and belief collide. Caitlyn Clark didn't just change the WNBA. She changed what people believe is possible. Her empire isn't built on controversy or chaos. It's built on grace, precision, and power. From record-breaking deals to breaking barriers, she's turned her passion into a platform, her journey into a generation-defining movement. And perhaps the most remarkable part? She's only just getting started. Because somewhere, in a quiet gym, Caitlyn Clark is still taking shots in the dark, still chasing that next perfect moment, still inspiring millions to do the same.